What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Friday. I may or may not do a preview for the Chiefs game. I might. I think you guys know how I feel. I feel, it's just going to be an uphill battle. Even with Jaden, it would have been an uphill battle. We were 12.5 point underdogs, and that's definitely correct. I mean, going on the road against the Chiefs, and I know it's not the Chiefs of, last year or 2 years. Actually, they're getting back on track, so I can't even say that. Like in the first couple of games, we could have said that when they struggled against the Giants, they lost to the Eagles. But now they're getting back on track because they have Rashee Rice. He's healthy. Xavier Worthy is healthy. Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, and of course Pat Mahomes. And their defense is good too. So there's some times where the defense has to pick up the slack when Pat doesn't have great games. So even their defense is darn good. And then I hate to say it, sometimes this year we've been out coached. So last year I felt like we could say we had the better coach. I still think Dan Quinn's a darn good coach, but this year, collectively with Joe Witt and sometimes Cliff having bad games too, there's been some games where we probably have been out coached. So, I'll probably do like a quick preview, and then of course it will turn into like a 20-minute video. But all right, so let's talk about the trade deadline. The trade deadline is November 4th. We do have this game, and then the next game is against the Seahawks on Sunday night. So we do have two games. The Chiefs coming up, like I said, and then the Seahawks game. So we have two games to really decide what we're gonna do. All right, let's say if we magically win this game and then beat the Seahawks, then maybe we would be more buyers or rather than sellers. But I think at this point, I would be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you look at the receiver position now with Terry and Debo being healthy, you're probably not going to be a buyer of the wide receiver position. If Terry really was not ready to play or going to be on IR, then you would be more of a buyer because Noah Brown's on IR and then Debo has the heel injury. So some other receivers would be in play with as far as like trying to trade. But you look at our draft picks, guys. I mean, we just don't have a lot of picks. We have a first round pick. We have 6 picks, which is typically you have about 7 picks normally on average. Last year we only had 5, but this year we have 6. So we have one more than what we did last year because we sold Brian Robinson before the season started. So we have a first round pick, a third round pick, a 5th round pick, 2 sixths, and a 7th. So the second and the 4th was traded to Houston for Laramie Tunzel. So we really need more picks, man. We need to get youthful. We need to get younger. We just don't have a lot of picks or guys to really sell. So I'll talk about the guys that we possibly could sell. Brandon Coleman, but nobody really, I don't know what his value would be. It probably would be like a 7th round pick or a 6th round pick because this is a guy that can't get on the field. And at this point, I would just trade him because it looks like they don't want to play him at all. I mean, it's been, 3, 4, 5 games now at this point, ever since that Raiders game. The Raiders game was the first game, so we're 3-4, so 7 games. The Packers game, we were 1-1. So there's been 5 games with DNPs. Like, he's not even putting a helmet on, guys. Like, he's not even putting a helmet on. He's not putting a helmet on, cleats or nothing. Like, he is on the sideline in street clothes. So if they really think that lowly of him, you might as well just let him go. Just trade him. It would be better for both sides. Let Brandon Coleman get an opportunity somewhere else, and then you can just get a pick back. I'd rather get a 7th round pick than you just holding him out. And I know we talk about depth and injuries, but they think he's that bad to the point where he's not even getting on the field. At least if he was suiting up, then I would say that. But they really think, I feel like they think that lowly. I think they have Julian Good-Jones above him at this point. That's how bad I think it is with Brandon Coleman. That's how much that he's in the doghouse. Now, I don't think he's that bad. I thought he had a solid year last year at left tackle. And some good moments against Trey Hendrickson, some good moments against Myles Garrett, where there was help and chipping and doubling and whatnot. But still, I mean, he looked better than what Josh Connolly looked through the first couple games of the year. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Josh Connolly did a good job at left tackle for the most part. He was getting beat some games, but he had some good games. Like, I don't think he really should be in the doghouse that bad. But if you're looking at it through their lens, if you really think he's that bad, then let him blossom somewhere else. And if you think he's that trash or whatever, where he can't even put a helmet on, you might as well get a pick for him at this point. So even if it's a 7th or a 6th or John Ridgeway trade, I wouldn't attach a pick to him. I wouldn't do that like they did with John Ridgeway. But I would get a 6th or a 7th. He was a former 3rd round pick, so I feel like you can at least get a 6th or a 7th. You're not gonna get a 5th or a 4th or nothing like that, but you can at least I feel like you can get a 6th or a 7th for Brandon Coleman. So I would trade him. I would trade him because you're wasting his time, and I guess he's wasting their time too. So you guys get the point of what I'm saying. Let's get a quick word from today's sponsor, Sleeper, and let's get back into the video. What's good, Commanders fans? Just want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper, the best fantasy sports app in the world. Make sure you guys check it out. Use promo code Oliver. First time users, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code Oliver. Also, you get a $20 free entry on Sleeper. So Sleeper's giving out some great deals, man. Sleeper, if you've never heard of it before, it's sports fantasy. You can wager on more or less on passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, passing touchdowns. The cheat code for this year, the rest of the games, Pat Mahomes, who we play next, all the other teams, the other quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Take that to the bank each time, guys. Using promo code Oliver. Use the link down below in the description. Terms and conditions apply. Make sure you guys use Sleeper. Great app, man. $20 free entry and then promo code Oliver for 100% deposit up to $100 for your first time users, guys. Let's get back to the video. All right, so Sleeper does have Pat Mahomes at 2.5 passing touchdowns, which is pretty high. I would still take it just because our secondary is that poor and our defense is that poor. But I would take a look at Travis Kelce as well. This weekend is National Tight End Day on Sunday and Monday, National Tight End Weekend. So typically when it's National Tight End Day, tight ends go crazy. So take a look at Zach Ertz, take a look at Travis Kelce. All the tight ends across the league, take a look at those guys. This is the week to take them for more than anytime touchdown or more than receptions or more than their yards. This is the weekend to do that for sure. All right. Like I said, Brandon Coleman, Marshawn Lattimore, you're not going to get anything for him. People keep saying Marshawn, but you're not going to get anything for him. Daron Payne, you would get something for him, but it's not worth trading him. Like, you don't want to make your defensive line weaker. Johnny Newton would be your starting defensive tackle, and then he's getting out-snapped by, like, Sheldon Day and other guys like that. So it would not be wise to trade Daron Payne. Von Miller, you're not going to get nothing for him. Noah, teams were making calls. I think were teams making calls for him or something like they were shopping him, and I think teams did have interest. But once again, he hasn't really got a lot of snaps. Like, you look at the snap count, like Marshawn, Trey Amos, and Mikey Samerstill have got a majority of the snaps. So Noah hasn't really even played that much. So I don't know what his value is at right now. I guess it would be a 7th round pick. I mean, you could add a 7th round pick to our picks, and you would have 2 7s and 2 6s, and then maybe you could parlay the 7th and 6th, and we'll move up into the 5th round. I mean, that's something you could try. Like Adam could try to do that, but I mean, the more picks, the merrier. If you don't really believe in Noah to go out there and get snaps, and I guess you shop him around. But I would rather keep Noah for depth than I would Brandon Coleman, just because our cornerback room is so bad. Our offensive line is actually pretty good. Well, I'm going to say actually pretty good. They are pretty good. They are good. I mean, you got Sam Cosmi, Biotic, Connolly's coming along. I know what Jadeveon Clowney said. I couldn't care less what Jadeveon Clowney had to say. Left guard Chris Paul, who's had a good year, and then Laremy Tunsil, who's a stud. You know, a perennial Pro Bowl player who's having a good year. Other guys we could potentially sell. Some people brought up Von Miller. You're not getting anything for Von Miller. Frankie Louvu, there's no point in trading him. He's a good player. So even though he's having a down year, I would not trade him. And that's really it. You just don't have anything. You just don't have anything to really sell right now. You just don't. And nothing really on offense other than Brandon Coleman. You know, the guys that you would sell, you need badly on your roster. So Andrew Wiley, some people have brought him up. Maybe you could get a 6 for him. And then maybe you could try to finally give Brandon Coleman some play to ease him back in, or give him a chance to at least get out there and prove himself, do something as a backup guard. And you move Brandon Coleman from left to guard, so you gotta kind of give him a little bit of slack with that too. So it's interesting they put him in the doghouse like that. All right, so let's talk about buyers. If we do become buyers, I highly doubt we become buyers. Bill Barnwell said Noah and a 7th round pick. He works for ESPN. He made a mock trade saying Noah and a 7th round pick for Cam Taylor-Britt. Cam Taylor-Britt is the guy that said we had a college offense, and they do a lot of quick passes. The next thing you know, Terry cooks him down the field like twice, I think. Jaden Daniels was cooking him. Cam Taylor-Britt has had a solid career. He's had a down year this year. He's in the doghouse. He's not getting a lot of playing time for a bad Bengals defense. He did have 4 interceptions in 2023. He had 3 picks. He had a pick 6 in 2023 and a pick 6 in 2024. He's played in 5 games and 1 start this year. He started in all 17 games last year. You look at some of his advanced metrics. He gave up a 75% completion percentage this year, which is not great. 146.7 quarterback rating, which is bad this year. That's kind of why he's in the doghouse too. 2024, 64.8 completion percentage allowed, and then a 98.0 quarterback rating allowed. Now, 2023 had a good year, 78.0 quarterback rating allowed, and a 56% completion percentage allowed in 2023. So if you can get 2023 Cam Taylor-Britt, okay. But is it worth it to trade Noah I and a pick? Like, you just don't have a lot of picks to give up. So Cam Taylor-Britt, in my opinion, is not that great, but he would be an upgrade over Marshawn Lattimore. That's how bad Lattimore has been. And he wouldn't even be that much of an upgrade. And his missed tackle percentage this year is 26.7, which is really bad. So he's been struggling to tackle as well. The other proposed trade was Kyler Dugger. He said like a 6th or a 7th for Kyler Dugger, the safety for the Patriots. Kyler Dugger, he came out the gate hot, but when you have a new coach like Mike Vrabel and you weren't drafted by that guy, typically sometimes they want to move on. He's 29 years old. Cam Taylor-Britt is on the younger side too, so he would bring a little bit of youth to the team if we do get him. He was a former 2nd round pick as well out of Nebraska. He is, how old is he? Oh, that's not even saying. He's 26 years old, so he's actually pretty young. Kyler Dugger is 29. He plays safety, so we've had some ups and downs at the safety position. Quan Martin colliding with Marshawn Lattimore a couple times this year. Will Harris being injured. Jeremy Reeves has had to start. Percy Butler's getting playing time. It's just been an up and down year for the safety position for sure. So just to bring in some depth would not hurt. I mean, if you want to give up a 7th round pick, if they take a 7th, he had 2 pick sixes in 2022. He had 3 picks in 2022 as well. Solid tackler as well. But he is starting to get playing time with the Patriots. He started 4 games this year, so I don't think they're going to trade him. But there's somebody to keep in mind. Has given up 83% completion percentage, which is not bad, and 118.1 quarterback rating, which is bad. 137.4 quarterback rating allowed last year, which is pretty bad. So the last 2 years have been pretty below average for the most part for Kyler Dugger. Logan Wilson's available, the linebacker from the Bengals, but I highly doubt we trade for a linebacker. Joe Witt loves Frankie Louvu. He loves Bobby Wagner with a passion. We have Jordan McGee as well, so I don't see them trading for a linebacker. Wide receivers, Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle, those guys are not going to be available. Rashid Shaheed is a guy that I like, but they're not going to be available. Mark Andrews is a proposed trade that I've seen around social media and articles and stuff like that, the tight end for the Ravens. But you would be getting older again at the tight end position. But I get why the national media is saying we would trade for a tight end, because Ben Sinnott has provided much next to nothing. And you would give Jaden another weapon. But I highly doubt we trade for Mark Andrews. Jacoby Myers is a guy that I would definitely take a look at. But once again, Debo and Terry are back. So I don't see us giving him a pick. And he wants to get paid too. He does want out. He has requested a trade. But I don't see us giving up anything for Jacoby Myers. I like him a lot, though. He's a dog. Like, he's so underrated. Like, he's an underrated guy. He's like another quiet kind of receiver like Terry, where he just doesn't have a lot of noise, a lot of national media looks. But Jacoby Myers is a darn good receiver. Darn good receiver for sure. Some of the pass rushers, Jalen Phillips, the Dolphins pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson is not realistic. So you're kind of stuck with what you got at as far as pass rushers for the most part. So that's really it for the trade deadline, guys. I mean, you guys let me know what you guys think. I don't think we'll trade for a running back. I know Breece Hall is available, somebody to take a look at too, but I highly doubt we trade for a running back. But as always, you guys let me know what you guys think. That is about it. And Terry and Debo, they did look good in practice, and some of the clips that I saw, they did look pretty good. They were moving around pretty well. So it looks like they are on track to play. Hopefully we can get Jaden back for the Seahawks game. So that is really it for the trade deadline, guys. I would be a seller. The only person I would really sell is probably Brandon Coleman and maybe Andrew Wiley. But once again, you need him for depth because Sam Cosmi was on the injury list. He did not practice with a back injury. So you need that depth right now. So it looks like we're kind of stuck. I wouldn't be surprised if we'd make 0 moves at the trade deadline. We just don't trade anybody. And we don't trade for anybody because we just don't have a lot of picks. I mean, you could trade a 2027 pick, 2027 year pick, but I just highly doubt that will happen. So, all right, guys. Hello, Commanders. Peace.